Hello. Hi. Okay. Yes, my microphone is on this time. Good. Hello. We're back to Sudoku Time with Eve. I guess that's the name of this now. I don't know. It's been a while. And that's completely my fault. So, explanation. The previous two Rat Run puzzles are not on my channel, at least not publicly, because I'm silly. So, Rat Run 12, the recording went fine. I made the video, I saved it on my hard drive, and I uploaded it to YouTube, right? I then, a few days later went through my hard drive and was like, oh, these videos I've already uploaded. I don't need them anymore. Let me just delete them. That was a bad idea, because for some reason, the Rat Run 12 video didn't upload correctly. So I go on my YouTube channel a few days later and I'm like, oh, the video's not there. Oh, I also don't have the file for it anymore. Whoopsie daisy. So that's lost. Lost media. And then Rat Run 13, I actually did it. I uploaded it correctly. Everything was fine. Except that the mic wasn't on for the entirety of the video. I only noticed it at the very end, after the puzzle was already done. So, my bad. I can still upload it, it's just gonna be completely silent. I'll figure out what to do. 12 is unfortunately just lost. Maybe I'll do it in the future. In the sort of far future, when I've forgotten the puzzle. I don't know. These are hard to forget is the problem. These are good puzzles. And I wish I hadn't just lost two of them. But today's is working fine. I'm looking at my recording right now. The mic is on. I'm going to make sure to not delete the video file until I am certain that the video has uploaded on YouTube. It's a good idea to keep the video files anyway, because YouTube kind of sucks, and you never know when it's going to just delete all of your videos. But for now, we're good. So, let's get started after all that rigmarole. Alright, so, Rat Run 14. If you haven't been here in the previous videos, we're back to Rat Run. It's the best Sudoku series of all time. It's made by Marty Sears. This is the 14th puzzle. Unfortunately, the 12th puzzle on my channel, but again, it's okay. These are always a blast. These are always really, really good Sudoku puzzles, and I am sure this will be the same. So let's get started. Let's talk about the rules. First off, normal Sudoku rules apply. So we have to put digits 1 through 9 in each 3x3 box, in each column, and in each row. Normally I say that backwards. I don't know why I said it in that order. Row, column, and 3x3 box. In this puzzle, the 3x3 boxes are denoted by these dotted lines, because these wall lines are something completely different, which is what we'll talk about now. Aim of the experiment. Finks the rat right there, must reach the cupcake, that, by finding a path through the maze. The path must not visit any cell more than once, cross itself, or pass through any thick maze walls. As well as moving orthogonally, Finks may move diagonally if there's a 2x2 space in which to do so, but may never pass diagonally through a round wall spot on the corner of a cell. So basically our goal in this puzzle is 1, to fill in the Sudoku, and 2, to make a path for Finks to reach the cupcake. So the path might wiggle around a little bit, might go up here, might do that, and eventually it reaches the cupcake. What she can do, if there's space in which to do so, is she may do that. She may move diagonally if there's space to do that. But what she can't do is something like this. That's passing through a rounded wall spot. That's not allowed. Erase that. I can actually just Control C if it's easier. Black currents. Digits connected by a black current have a 1 to 2 ratio. So these are those black currents. So these have a 1 to 2 ratio. That's pretty simple. If that's a 2, that must be a 1 or a 4. Easy enough. Cages. All cages have the same total to be deduced. An electricity symbol indicates the cage's shock value. Finks may not enter any cage with a shock value of 5 or higher. Cages with a shock value lower than 5 are safe to enter. So first off, all of these cages have the same total. So if this was a 5, then this would also have to be a 5, and then these would have to add to 5, so they could be 1 and 4. And if this is a 1, that means that this cage is safe, so Finks may enter it. If that, for example, was a 9, and this was a 9, and these added to 9, that being a 6, that being a 3, then this electricity symbol, excuse me, sorry about that, this electricity symbol is over 5, or it's 5 or higher, which means Finks cannot enter this. So these 2 squares would be out of bounds for her possible path. And finally, test constraint. In this experiment, dotted 3x3 box borders divide the correct path into segments. The total for each segment must be higher than the total of the previous segment on Finks' path. Which is kind of interesting, isn't it? So, that means if we had something like this to start off the path, then whatever these 3 digits add up to, these 3 digits have to add up to something higher than that value. And then these 5 digits have to add up to something higher than that. And it must keep going up and up and up. That's pretty interesting, and I feel like that's gonna play very well with the other rules. But we'll find out starting now. So, let's get started. I was looking at this puzzle yesterday, and I was just looking at it in bed, and I was like, okay, let me not think about the logic of this, because I want to make a video on this tomorrow. But then my silly brain started thinking about the logic of it, and the one conclusion that I came up with was that, why can't Finks just do that? Why can't that be the path? And there's a very simple reason why, actually. It's because of this rule. So if this was the path, then what is the minimum that these 4 digits can add up to? Well, they could be 1, 2, 3, and 4 in some order. That's the minimum. They would have to add up to 10. Well, that would mean the cupcake has to have a value of at least 11, and that's not going to happen. So that means Finks does not go left as the first thing she does. Which, in fact, yeah, it does mean that these 3 squares are out of bounds. They're never going to be in the puzzle. This square is also out of bounds, because if Finks ever ended up there, she'd be stuck. It's kind of a cul-de-sac. And those are very bad for puzzles like this. So that square is also out of bounds. Which actually does not leave that much space for Finks in this box right here. And it also tells us one other thing. How does Finks get to the cupcake? Well, the only other way into this box is through here. And if she does that, then she definitely has to do that, and she must arrive from here. So that's a good amount of path already for us to think about. And the other interesting thing is that this has 5 cells. What is, yeah, and the maximum number of cells that Finks may visit in this box with the cupcake on this, like, little path segment is if she does that, and that would be 6 cells. Now what I'm thinking of is, what is the maximum value of this path segment right here? Because this is the last path segment, so it has to have the highest value of all the path segments in the puzzle. Now, if she did do that, then she would be visiting 6 cells. And if those were the highest it can be, they would be 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And they would add up to 39. Is that right? Yeah, 39. So the maximum this path segment can add up to is 39. But if she doesn't do that, then she's going to do this, and then the maximum is a bit lower, because then we're only talking about 4 cells, and if they were 9, 8, 7, 6, then the maximum would be 30. So the very maximum this path segment can add up to is 39. But if she does that, then it's only 30. I feel like that's unlikely with the amount of path segments we're going to have to traverse, but it's completely possible. There's nothing stopping that from happening. The only thing I can deduce from that is that there can't be any path segment in the puzzle that contains 9 cells. So one way that could happen is if Sphinx did that. That can't happen, because then that path segment, it contains all 9 digits of the Sudoku by Sudoku rules. So it would add up to 45, which is just not right, because as we said, this maximum value of this is 39. In fact, can she even enter this little path? Because if she did, she'd do at least that. And that's 7 cells. The minimum value of that is if they are the digits 1 through 7. And then it would be 45 minus 17, which is 28. That is only possible if this is 39. And then I guess this would have to have a value bigger than 28. This would have to have a value bigger than that, and this would have to have a value bigger than that. And then the value of this would be bigger than that. That is possible. Go 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That can't happen if this goes like this. Because then, as we said, maximum value is 30, and that can't happen, right? Go 28, 29, 30, and then that's already broken. So I'm thinking this little, corridor here is unlikely for things to pass through, but not impossible. Okay, well, one other thing we can say is, how does Sphinx leave where she is right now? She's in this little 4x3 area here. She's gonna have to leave through there. Which does tell us that she crosses this cage. So that must be a safe digit. So that's from 1, 2, 3, and 4. And also she passes through a black current. How long have I been recording? 12 minutes. Okay. Explaining the rules takes a bit of time, doesn't it? Trying to think here. The weird thing is, something like this could happen, and then that's a path segment, that's a separate one, that's a separate one, and that's a 4th. Right? I think that's how that works. Dotted box borders divide the correct path into segments. Yeah, that doesn't say there can only be 1 segment per box. That's not what that's saying. Okay. I'm already kind of stuck. 1 second. Sorry, just asking Alexa to turn the lights on. Let's see. Am I missing something crucial? Well, if this path connects there somehow, then we already said this can't happen. That's not allowed, so this would have to happen. And then that's only 3 cells. I don't know. That seems completely fine, in my opinion. The thing is, the minimum this first path segment can be is 1. Because we could do something like that, and then that's a 1. And that's fine, because that's obviously going to be higher than 1. So I'm not sure how to continue this. This seems very empty somehow. Like, there's not that much in this grid, and somehow this is going to give us a unique path. Which, I mean, it's always surprising when that happens in these rat run puzzles, but in this one in particular, I feel that's going to be very surprising. Can I figure out how many segments I can have? Maybe. Maybe not. If this doesn't go up, then it's got to go over here, and then it's got to cross this, and I must do that. So the minimum here would be 5 cells. These could be 1 and 2, for example. This could be a 2, and those could be 4 and 5. So the minimum of this would be 15 in value. I don't see why that's not possible. If we then went in there, well, that would be kinda hard. Because the maximum 2 cells in a Sudoku can add up to is if they were 8 and 9, and that's 17. So this would then be forced to be 15, that would be 16, that would be 17. Oh, and then we're stuck, actually. Because we'd have to go either there and then up, or directly up. Either way, this segment here is not going to happen. It's going to have to add up to at least 18, and that's just not possible in 1 or 2 cells. So I think what we can conclude from that is that we don't exit this little path segment here, doesn't connect here. At least not immediately. Can this happen? What would that be? Ooh, that would be hard. That would be hard to fill. Because I'm thinking now, what's the minimum amount of cells that this path segment can have? And it's if that happened. There we go. Now, if that happened, then this, the minimum of that would be 6 if they were 1, 2, and 3. Then we could go 7 here, 8 here, and this would be forced to be a 9. Then this would have to be smaller than 6, and this would have to be smaller than that. For example, this could be a 1, 2 pair. That would be 3. Well, this could be a 4, 1, 1, 2, 2. I think that works out, yeah. That's a very, convoluted path, but it would work. Because then this would be 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this couldn't go up, because this would be forced to be 10. So this would have to go down. 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that works, dude. That works, which makes me scared, because it makes me think that the path is going to be that convoluted. So, those are 2 options that we have investigated. This path connects here, which is not possible, or here, which is barely possible. Now, what if it connects here? If it connects there, then it must go up. If it connects there, it's got to do this. And then if it does that, the minimum... Yeah, so this is 6 cells. Oh, yeah, okay, that breaks it, actually. Oh, wow. Wow, that is surprising. Yeah, that breaks it, because 6 cells, the minimum they can add up to is 21. But we only have 2 cells here. We're never going to get to 22 in 2 cells. So I think this path segment can't connect here or here. So it's forced to connect here. which is going to do what we said it would do. It's going to fix a lot of things, which is kind of huge, actually. I think that's right. Let me just investigate that one more time. So if it went here, this would be minimum 15, 16, 17, this is unfillable. If it goes here, then this is minimum 21, and this is minimum 22. It is impossible. So it's got to go here. Yeah, okay. So it's got to go there. Then it's going to do that. It can't go up, because as we said, it can't cover all 9 cells. So it's got to do that. And now, if this is a 9, 8, 7, 6. Let me just make sure that there's no other way. Yeah, there's no other way of only taking 3 cells in this path segment. If we go there, we gotta take at least 4. If we go there, we gotta take at least 4. So we have to go there. And once we go there, we're forced to go there. And then there, and then there. And then we can't take 3 cells here, because they're gonna add up to at least 6. So we gotta go there. And then there, and then there. I think that's fixed. I think this is a fixed path. Now this can't go up. So it's gotta go down, there. It can't go right or it's gonna bump into itself. So, wow, that like joke of a path that I made, I think is actually correct. And now let's talk about what that means. 9, 8, 7, 6. Yeah, okay. So this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 4, which actually fixes this as a 3. Fixes this as a 3. This being a 1 or 2 makes that a 1, 2, it makes that a 4 actually, because it can't be a 1 or 2. So that's a 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4 there means there's a 2 in there, so that's not a 2. This adds up to 8. So it is 1, 2, 5 or 1, 3, 4. I don't know which one yet. It can't be 1, 3, 4, because this can't be 1, 3, or 4. So it's 1, 2, 5. That's not a 1. That's not a 2. That's not a 1 because of this. That's not a 2 because of this. So that is a 5. 1, 2. 9 there. This is correct. Holy crap. Alright. That is a sick start, dude. That is a really cool start. Now, this must be a 1. Because if it was a 2, then it would be too high. So this is a 1. This now must add up to 4 or 3. It can't add up to 3 because it can't be 1, 2. Wait, did I break it? This adds up to 5. Oh, I didn't break it. It's just I didn't realize this could happen. Which I think now means that's what's gonna have to happen. Because now, if... well, either that or that is gonna happen, is what I'm thinking. Because, if it doesn't, if this path segment here, or here, takes more than 1 cell, then these have to be at least 4 and 5, and they would add to 9, which is just not right. So this path this path segment that this veers off to, either there or there, is going to have to contain a single cell, and it's got to be lower than 5, so it's going to have to be a 4. So there's a 4 in one of those, and that's where the path goes. And now this has to be lower than 4, and it can't be a 1, so it's a 2 or a 3. Okay, wow. Now, what else? Well, one thing is we know some info about the cages now. So the cages either add up to 4, 6, or 7. So this is a 4, 6, or 7. That is a 4, 6, or 7. And these add up to 4, 6, or 7. If they add up to 4... or sorry, not 4, 6, 4, 5, or 7. Jesus. Nice math, Eve. They can't add up to 5. Because then, this cage would have to add up to 5. That can't be a 1 or a 4, so that would be a 2 or a 3. But then that would be a 2 or a 3, and then we have 3 2s or 3s in that row. So they can't add up to 5, which means this is not a 2, which means that is a 2. So they add up to either 4 or 7. Now, if they add up to 4, this is a 1, and that's a 3, and that's a 2. That works. There's nothing stopping that. Am I still right? Yeah, okay, I'm still right. Sorry. Well, one thing, this can't be a single self segment, because now this is at least 10, 11, 12, 13. So this segment has to add up to at least 14. So it can't go right up, it has to go here. Then it's going to do that. Alright, what are we doing now? So, okay, so these have to add up to at least 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 is interesting, because there's only 2 ways of making it. It's 5, 7, or 6, 8. Is my computer charging? It is. It's like kind of dark. Oh, it's because my brightness is all the way down. Okay, that makes sense. I probably turned it down because I was using it at night yesterday. Okay. God, it's at 3 and it's already like bright. 3 out of 100. That's crazy. Wow. Sorry. I'm gonna go back here. Yeah. So if this is at least 14. Yeah. Actually, that tells me nothing. Because what I was gonna say is that these digits have to be at least 5. Yeah, obviously they have to be at least 5 because 1, 2, 3, and 4 are taken in this row. Good job, Eve. Okay. Now. Well, now we're in a little bit of a predicament, I think. Because now we're stuck in this little box right here. And we're going to have to exit it somehow. If those are 7s, it makes our exit a little harder, because we can't pass through them as cells. They are the same digit, obviously. So that digit actually goes in there. So there's a 4. Oh. Yeah, these can't be 4. Okay, my bad. Because if they were 4, that would be 4, that would be 4, these would both be forced to be 1. So they are 7s. Oops. They are 7s, which means the cages add up to 7, which means that's a 4, that's a 1. And now these are unsafe, so I'm going to paint them red. This is a safe cage, so I'm going to paint it green. I don't know, it just feels nice to paint stuff. So now we can't pass through them. Yeah. Which, like I said, makes our escape from this little box we're in. Ah! My mouse is acting up. Makes our escape from this little box we're in a little harder. It's not hard, but it's a little harder. Well, I don't think... We definitely can't do that now, because that cage is safe. I don't think we can do this. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think so. Because if it did, then what would happen? We can't go right, because we'd either bump into ourselves, or we'd go back in the box, and then there would be absolutely no way of escaping. So we'd be... Whoops. We'd be forced to go left, and then that's a 1 self segment, which has to add up to a massive number at this point. So that's not going to happen. So we must exit this little box from here. And then... Why is my mouse acting up? And then we can't go right because we're going to bump into ourselves, so we gotta go left. And then we're not going to re-enter the box. Oh my god, my mouse. We're not going to re-enter the box. Otherwise we're stuck. So we're going to go left again. And now, what's the minimum this has to add up to? Because we're at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in this little bit, 17. So that the minimum that needs to add up to is 17. And the maximum that it can add up to is 17. So this is 8, 9. And in fact, these are all fixed now. Because if this is 8, 9, then this segment the segment that exists in these 5 cells is going to add up to 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. That's really cool. That's really cool. So these 2 cells add up to 10. They're not 1, 9. It could be 2, 8. Or 3, 7. They can't be 3, 7, because 3 and 7 are taking that row. So they are 2, 8. These have to add up to 11. They can't be 2, 9. They can't be 3, 8, because that's 3. They cannot be 4, 7, because that's 4. So they are 5 and 6. Which means these 2 are 7 and 8. Oh, and there we go. That's an 8, that's a 7, that's a 2, that's an 8. These have to add up to 12. They can be 3, 9. They cannot be 4, 8. And they can't be 5, 7. So they are 3, 9. These have to add up to, what are we at now? 13. They're not 4, 9. They're not... They could be 6, 7. They could be 5, 8. Oh, this is 3 now, by the way. There we go. That's a 9. That's a 3. Yeah, so it could be 5... What am I doing? 5, 8. Or 6, 7 in that order. Okay. Then these have to add up to 14. They could be 5, 9 or 6, 8. Don't know which. And then whatever that segment is 15. I don't know if it goes up yet, is the problem. And then whatever this segment is 16, and then that's 17. Okay, now what I'm wondering is, must there be a segment in here? Because if there isn't, that means this segment connects there, and the minimum amount of cells now in that segment is 7. Their minimum would be 28. Yeah, that's fine, actually. So then this could be 29, this is 30. That's fine, can't disprove that yet. I can unmark these. I know we're not gonna pass through them, it's fine. Let's clear up the board a bit. These add up to 7 now, don't they? So they are either 1, 6 or 2, 5. Can't be 3, 4 because that's 3. So this cage is probably unsafe. If that's a 5 or a 6, this cage is unsafe. If that's a 2, we're okay. Oh, if this cage is unsafe, actually, then we're forced to do that. Because we can't go down here. And then that helps us a little, because then, like I said, the maximum these cells can be is 30. That would be helpful. I don't know if I can prove that yet, is the problem. I can mark some cells. These are from 1, 4, and... 4, 5, and 6, yeah. Which actually is interesting, because these have to add up to 16, don't they? And they do. They do add up to 16 if I add them all together. 1, 4, 5, 6 adds up to 16. So all 4 of these cells have to be on this segment. So this segment goes like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I didn't even realize that. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of sick. It's forced to do that, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. That's really cool, yeah. These cells have to add up to 15. They can't do it alone. This can't be a 2-cell segment. Because the only ways to get to 15 is 9, 6, which is impossible because that's 9, or 7, 8, which is impossible because that's 7. So this must be a 3-cell segment, which means they gotta go up, and then these 2 have to connect, so that's gonna happen. Now these 3 add to 15. Don't know how quite yet, but we'll get there. And now, the path is like almost complete. we have to connect these two, and now I have to figure out how the path ends. And that's about it. Okay, let's see. What are we doing here? We've made it farther than I thought we would, I'm gonna be honest. These are 3? Nope, sorry, not 3. 5, 6, and 7. Yeah. What else can I mark? Not much I can mark, honestly. One thing I can say is 3 is there. Because there needs to be a 3 in this row, so there is a 3 right there by Sudoku. There's a 2 there by Sudoku. That's all I know for now. What are we looking at here? There's a 1 in here. Which might be interesting eventually. So it's 16, 17. Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I feel like we're gonna have to go into this 2x3, but I'm not sure. Because again, this still works, weirdly enough. It can't be a 1, a 2, or an 8. So that's either a 4, a 3, or a 6, because of that black dot. Which makes that a 3 or 6, a 1 or not a 1, a 2 or an 8. Doesn't tell me much, but it's something. Figure out. Let's see. This has 5 numbers in it. Can I figure out any more numbers that are in there? A is in one of these 3. If 8 was there, then the other 2 cells in this 3 cell segment have to add up to 7. That's possible. I don't think there's anything stopping that from happening. If 8 was there, then we'd have a digit. That would be pretty cool, but I don't know that yet. Oh, actually 2 is not here. 2 could be there. My bad. Yeah, I looked at that wrong. My bad. Okay. Is this 3 important somehow? Don't know. Well, if there's a 2 there, then these have to add up to 13, can they? Can't be 4, 9. Could be 5, 8. It can't be 6, 7. If there was a 2 there, these would be forced to be 5, 8. Yeah, literally nothing stopping that from happening. I don't think. What's going on here again? These add up to... Oh, yeah, there you go. This can't be 5, 8. Yeah, my bad. This can't be 5, 8. Because if it was, this would be forced to be 6, 9. But then they add up to 15, and they need to add up to 14. So this can't be 5, 8. This is 7 there, 6 there, which means this is not 6, 8. It's 5, 9. That's not a 6, which means that's not a 1. This is a 2, 5 pair. That's not a 6. Okay, a little more info required. These 4 are now 2, 5, 8, 9. Doesn't tell us, like, anything, unfortunately. These are up to 15. Okay, well, now if that's a 2, then these are 5, 8, like I said. That's still possible, unfortunately. Then that would actually be a 2. That would be a 5. Am I supposed to disprove? Am I supposed to prove that this cage has to be safe? Because if I did, that would actually do a good amount of stuff. It would make that a 2, that a 5, that a 9, that a 5. Can I prove that? So if this cage is unsafe, like we said, we have to do that. And then this is max 30, 29, 28. Still too far away. This is 17. There's a lot of degrees of freedom still to explore. I don't think we can prove that this must be safe. At least not right now. Okay. I mean, I'm still correct, right? Yeah, I'm still fine. These are 5, 6, 7. These are 8 and 9, which means these are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those aren't 3s. Oh wow, that's crazy. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sextuple, which means this is an 8 or 9 actually. Let's go with that. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Wow, that's very cool. I don't think that's the way to solve the puzzle, but it's still kind of cool that that works out that way. Let's see. What are ways of making 15? Well, question. Can there be a 1 in there? Because if there was, the other 2 would have to add to 14. Couldn't be a 1, 5, 9. No, it could. Those would be 1, 5. And that would be a 9. And it could be 1, 6, 8. There's nothing stopping it. There's literally nothing stopping it. This could have as low as a 1. And could it have a 9? If there was a 9, it would be there. And then these have to add up to 6. They could be 1, 5, yeah. Jeez. So this has all degrees of freedom in the world. It can have anywhere from 1 to 9. If I could prove what isn't in here, then that would be huge, because then I'd prove what is in there. The only thing I know is that this doesn't have a 3, because 3 is right there. I don't know much else. Oh, this doesn't have 7, because 7 is taken. That's all. That's all I know. Alright, let's do some Sudoku marking, because that seems like the only thing I can do at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9 are missing. These don't have a 4, because 4 is right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These don't have a 4, because 4 is right there. Those aren't 3. There's a 3 up there. That wasn't very useful. That was not very useful, I'm gonna tell you that much. What am I doing here? What the fuck was that noise? I have to think about this path segment somehow. What's the... If there's a path segment in here, in this 2x3, what's the maximum that it can be? Well, that would be if it took all the cells. And if these were maximized. They can't be 6, 7, because that would leave that empty, so they'd be 5, 7. Which is 12. And then these add up to 10, so 22. Okay, that's a little more interesting. So if there's a path segment in this 2x3, its maximum is 22. And right now we're at 17, and at least 18 in here. Which is interesting, isn't it? Can I prove anything with that? Good lord. I don't know. I feel like I'm stuck. How long have I been recording? 46 minutes? It's actually not as bad as I thought. It's still pretty long, though. Yeah, mic's still on. Everything's working. Everything's working fine, alright? Don't worry about it. I don't know where to go. I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I've looked everywhere. Have I not? Somehow? There's a 5 in there, for sure. There's a 3 in there. If this is a 5, then that's a 5. These are 1, 4, 6. These are 2 and 3. Because that's 1 and 4. Everything fits. There's nothing wrong with that. If this is a 2, nothing really. Nothing happens. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 9. Yeah, it's like nothing. I don't know where to go. Okay, maybe I have to think a little backwards. Because what's the maximum this can be? I was thinking about the maximum of this path segment. I'm silly, is what I am, actually. This is a 5-9 pair in this box, so that's a 2. There we go. I am the silly. That's a 5 by Sudoku, and that's a 5 by Sudoku. And this is 1, 4, 6, which means this is like that. That's not a 2. I am the silly Tilly, which means now we can't do that, and we must do this. And now, what? Are we cooking with gas now? These are, 2, oh yeah, that's a 2. This is an 8 or 9. Are we cooking with gas? Don't know. The maximum this can be now is 30. Yeah. If this was 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be forced to be an 8, actually. And then these would be 6, 7, 9. That's fine. It's actually not fine. Because then this would be a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple, and then that square would be empty. So this can't be 30. Can it be... Can't be 29, because then that would be... Oh, my bad. This can't contain a 9 anyway. So the maximum this can be is actually 8, 7, 6. It also can't contain a 5, 4. And then that would be an 8. These would be 4, 6, 7. That would be forced to be an 8. That would be a 9. And then that's empty. Yeah, because we haven't placed a 3. Which, actually, there must be a 3 in there, because there must be a 3 in this row. Okay. We're getting somewhere, I think. Because now this must contain a 3. So now its maximum is 8, 7, 6, 3. I think that's okay. Yeah, because now this is 8, this is 3, 6, 7. Which is fine, because then now that's an 8, 9 pair, and that's a 4. Okay. So the maximum this can be is 3, 6, 7, 8, which they add up to 24, which is actually a pretty low number. Compared to the 39 we were at before, that's pretty good. Isn't it? Am I correct? Yeah, 24. So now the maximum this path segment can be is 24. The maximum this can be is 23. The maximum this can be is 22. And now we're much closer, because now this is 17, and the maximum of this is 22. And now, what did we say this was? This is 20... Christ. The maximum of this... Wow, that's huge, actually. Is it huge? I think that's huge. Yeah, because now I'm thinking, if the path enters this box, and it takes all the cells, then the maximum it can be is 10 here, 12 here, 22. Which is pretty close to 24. Or, what was it? Sorry. This is 24. 23, 22. Okay, so this 22 wouldn't work, actually. So this would be forced to be 21. With that being a 5, 6. But now you might say, oh, what if it just takes less cells? What if it takes less cells? It must still be bigger than at least 18. So it must be between 19 and 21. But it must enter and exit through different cells. So they have to be these two. So these two would be contained, definitely. But they only add up to 5, so we'd have to continue from there. We'd be forced to take one of these two, for sure. But then, the maximum we can get up to would be if we took 5 cells and that was maximized. And that would only be 17, and that's not enough. Because it must be from 19 to 21, like we said. Okay, what that proves, that very convoluted, long speech, is if... Yeah, that does it. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. 1. If we enter this 2x3, we must get all of the cells. And these must be a 5, 6 pair. 2. We must enter this 2x3. Because if we don't, then these two connect. And like we said, what's the minimum these cells can add up to was 28. But the maximum of this one is 24. And that just doesn't work. So we must enter this box. Which means we are going to take all 6 of the cells. We can't crisscross our path. So that's going to have to connect there. This is going to have to connect here. And now it's fixed. Yeah, this is 21. Which means those are 5 and 6, and that's a 7. This is 22, 23, 24. And like we said, the only way of making 24 is by maximizing all these cells. Which is by putting 8, 7, 6, 3. Which forces that to be an 8. Forces 3, 6, 7 in there. Whoops. Well, yeah. 3, 6, 7 in there. This can't be a 6 or 7. 8, 9 pair forces a 4 there. 4 is not there. And also we said that the path must go to that 4, so there we go. Wow. These are... this is crazy, dude. These are 1 and 4. These add up to 25 No, jeez. These add up to 23 now. These add up to 22. That is 21. And this half segment is between 18 and 20. Okay. These two cells, one is double the other. So if they are 3 and 6, they add up to 9. If they are 4, 8, they add up to 12. But like we said, it must be between 18 and 20. So we must grab either one more cell or 2 more cells of these two. I don't know which one. Can I prove what this is? Yeah, I can, because this can't be 3, 6 now, otherwise that cell would be empty. So this is 4, 8. Those aren't 8s. Am I correct? I'm correct. So these add up to 12. Which is interesting. These 5 add up to 22. Exactly. Which is good. That's good. That's huge. Because these add up to 22. These add up to 12. Put them together, and you get 34. Which means these two cells must give us what's left to get to 45. So they must add up to 11. And one of them is 6. Like we said. Well, one thing that means is that we don't take both cells. Otherwise, this would be too big. It would be 11 plus 12, which is too big. Well, no, it's not that it has to contain a 6, my bad. We only grab one of the cells. And it is either a 6, a 7, or an 8 to get us to 18, 19, or 20. So, but these two add up to 11. So if it's a 6, it must be a 5-6 pair. If it's a 7, it must be a 4-7 pair, which is impossible because of that. And if it's a 8, well, it's not an 8, because that 8. So this is 5-6. That's a 6, that's a 5. We grab our 6 to get to where we need to be. 6 and 5 there. Those aren't 6s. This puzzle is something else, dude. Holy crap. I'm still correct, right? Yeah, I'm still fine. Wow. That's now 9. That's 5. This is not a 6. Woof. This is a 1-2 pair now, because that's the only thing that's left. It can't be 4, 8, 2, 4, or 3, 6. 1-2 pair puts a 3 there, 2 there, 3 doesn't go there, which means it goes here. Which puts a 3 here by Sudoku, there and there by Sudoku. That's a 7, that's a 6. We're getting somewhere. These must add up to 22, like we said. Right now we're at 6. So these two add up to 16, so they are 7 and 9. I could have done that by Sudoku, but whatever. 4 there, 6 there, 1 and 4. I think we are basically done. I think now at this point we're just filling in the remaining Sudoku. 8 there, 9 there, 7 there, 8 there. Okay, this is a 4 or a 6. Well, it's actually a 4. 6, 1, 4, 1, 4. 2, 1, and yeah, at this point it's over, actually. Because the 1 goes there. 2 goes there. 3, 4, 5 go, well, hold on. Ooh, is there gonna be a little thingy here? Hold on. 6 goes where? 6 goes there. Yeah, never mind, that just solves it. 5 goes here. 8 and 9. That was amazing. Wow, that was really good. I actually solved that relatively quickly, just about an hour. not bad. With how empty that grid felt at the beginning, I really didn't think we'd be able to do that, but it fit together so well. Again, I shouldn't be surprised. These rat run puzzles are always, like, they flow so well. They're really, really good. I enjoyed them immensely. I enjoyed them a lot. Let me just make sure one last time. Yeah, mic is on. I'm like traumatized by that shit. All right, it's on. Experiment completed successfully. Cells visited 56, black prints eaten 3, deactivated cages entered 1. As predicted, Finks's cognitive performance remained as sharp as ever, with only a slight reduction at the lowest and highest temperatures when compared to the pre-study average. As for motivation levels, the readings also show no statistically significant change. Having said that, in recent weeks, I've noticed a somehow calmer and more measured approach in the way she moves through the mazes, and I can't help but feel that the thrill and tenacity we saw in Phase 1 has waned somewhat. All recorded data suggest a happy and healthy Finks. This is purely a personal observation rather than a scientific one. Aw, poor Finks. I'm sure she'll be okay. She gets lots of cupcakes, which is always nice. I want cupcakes. Anyway, that was really fun. That was really fun, as usual. Yeah, wow. That moment right there with that 9, I really enjoyed that one. That was really fun. And it's crazy how, like, how together all the totals are. Because we went 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24. Like, they're very close together. And yet, it just worked out, like, perfectly. That was beautiful. As always. Marty Sears, you absolute legend. Holy. Alright, let's, solve it here. What are we looking for? Digits on the path in row 8. From left to right. Row 8, huh? 6, 7, 3, 1, 4. 6, 7, 3, 1, 4. And there we go. Alright, very cool. Oh, I haven't actually been reading these little blurbs. I didn't realize these were different. I'll read it now, I guess. This maze will test how Finks's cognitive performance and motivation are affected by a gradual increase in temperature within safety parameters. Why is the period inside the parentheses? Earlier in the year, Finks was selected for the full study. Preliminary tests with the original 250 rats produced a typical bell curve result. It is expected that This rat goes through a lot, man. Finks has gone through so much. I'm glad she gets cupcakes at the end of it all, but still. Give her a break, man. I mean, she did get a break, I guess, like 2 months, but still, give her a break. I also hope she doesn't die 2 weeks from now. Like, that's a menacing title. Schrodinger's rat. Please don't expose Finks to radiation. That is a bad thing to do, actually. Don't do that, please. I beg you. She doesn't deserve that. She's gone through enough, man. Anyway. That was great as usual. I guess that's it for today. I actually thought that was going to take me a little longer, but that sure wasn't that bad. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Can't wait for next week. Alright. Good night.